Hey everybody, I hope you're all really well. Today we're going to do a flow that's a bit more based on improving our balance. So all of the muscles in the legs, those small little stabilizing muscles that often decide not to join into the party, we'll be working to fire them up. And this is, balance is obviously crucial for all parts of our life. We've got all the animals today. But it's also amazing for performance across all sports, really. So I'm hoping that you will enjoy and that you will get some benefit out of it as well. So today we're going to make a start standing up. I wonder if I'll have any mat space myself. Come to the front of your mat, all 10 toes pointing forwards, and just bring the feet to about hip width apart. Let your arms come down by your side. Bring the eyes down to a close. And just come to find stillness for a few rounds of breath, really feeling into the soles of your feet. So notice where your weight is across the feet. Do you tend to sit slightly more into the outsides or perhaps into the arches? What's going on with the toes, into the heels, the balls of the feet? And just see if you can try and spread your weight down evenly across all four corners of your feet. So when we're working with our balance, it all starts with the feet. So we have to make sure that they're really pulling their weight, that they're providing us with a strong foundation. Because if you're slightly more onto the outside or the inside, that's going to translate all the way up the leg and will probably make you wobble quite a lot. And then whilst you're here, just start to invite a little bit of movement in. So gently rocking forwards and backwards, maybe a gentle sway from side to side. You can pick up the toes, you can pick up the heels. And just remember that with your eyes closed, it's going to challenge your balance a little bit more. So try to stay centered. Take some little circles. Just let the movements be really subtle for now. And then you can slowly start to let those movements become a little bit more expressive, perhaps bending through the knees as well, really coming up onto the balls of the feet. If you wobble, if you fall down, that is totally normal and fine. I'm having to work super hard as well. And just notice what that feels like further up the legs for you. Is there one foot that feels more stable than the other? Good, and then slowly, slowly start to bring yourself back to stillness. And again, really focus on anchoring down through the whole soles of the feet. Imagine that you are drinking that energy up from the earth. Now we're going to shift our focus slightly higher. So make sure that your legs are strong. Lift the kneecaps slightly. That's going to engage your quadricep muscles. Find length in your lower back. So by doing that, you'll slightly draw the belly button back and you'll slightly tuck the tailbone under. Nothing too drastic at all. Just focus on finding that length in the lower back. Good. And then let your shoulders be relaxed. Let your spine be long. Good. Keep breathing. Really reach up through the crown of the head. And then when you're ready, blink your eyes open. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to rock our weight into our left foot and then pick your right knee up. So your right foot up even. Just notice what that feels like for you. Feel it automatically switching on that left glute. And then we're going to extend the right leg and just start by taking some little circles with your right foot. So keep the circles really slow. You might get some clicks into the ankle joint. That's okay. Change the direction if you haven't already. So the ankles are also incredibly crucial for support and for balance, but they often get a little bit overlooked. Good. Come back to stillness. Now from here, bend your left knee slightly and see if you can just tap the right toes all the way out in front of you. See how far you can reach. And then extend the left leg once again, floating the right toes up. This time we're going to try and reach the right toes out towards the right-hand side as much as you can. Of course, you can counter your balance by leaning to the left slightly. Then come back to center. Now see how far behind you can tap your right toes. Good. Coming back to center. And then see if you can sweep the right toes all the way across to the left-hand side. Gentle little tap down there. Good. Coming back to center. Release the right foot down. Take a little bit of a rock from side to side, or give that left leg a little bit of a shake out if you need to. And then we'll take it over onto the right side. So start by bringing your weight into the right foot, lifting the left foot up. Switch on all of the muscles in your right leg. So it all starts with the sole of the foot. Grip with your toes slightly. That will help you stabilize. And then lift that right kneecap and squeeze your right glute. Good. And then extend your left leg and take those little circles with the left foot. Good. Rest of the leg and the body stays quiet. Change the direction of the circles. Awesome. Come back to stillness. Take a little bit of a bend through your right knee and see if you could stretch those left toes as far out in front of you as you can. And then re-extend through the right knee. Draw the left toes back in. Take it out wide, tapping the left toes as far out to the left as you can. Back to center. Taking the left toes behind you now. Little bend through that right knee. Good. Keep length along the spine. Back to center. And then sweeping the left toes around to the right. Good. And back to center. Release the left foot down. Give the legs a bit of a shake out. You might have noticed quite a big difference from one side of or from one leg to the other leg. Your balance might have felt stronger on the left or the right or vice versa. That's okay. Do not worry about it. We can work with that. Release your hands from your hips. Take a big breath in to sweep the arms all the way up and overhead. Follow the thumbs with your gaze. As you exhale, slowly make your way down into your forward fold, taking your time. Hinging at the hips, softening those knees, let the upper body completely drapes down. On your next inhale, find your halfway lift. So bring your hands to your shins. Extend through the spine as much as you can. So slightly pressing the chest forwards. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. On your next exhale, soften and melt back down into your forward fold. Now we're going to keep the right foot where it is, and we're going to take a big step with the left foot all the way to the back of the mat. This is very unhelpful positioning from my dog. So we're coming into our runner's lunge. So take a little bit of a rock forwards and backwards here. Again, just working on building a bit of mobility into this right ankle and starting to switch on the foot as well. So bring the weight slightly more into the balls of the feet and then rock it back into the heels. Good job. Come back to find stillness. Drop your back knee down. Coming to find our low lunge. As you inhale, reach the arms all the way up, pressing down through that right foot. Keep that length in the lower back. Squeeze that left glute as much as you can. And then in our low lunge, we're just going to lift the right heel up and then lower it back down. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1. Good job. Let that right heel come back down. If your back toes aren't already tucked, tuck them under now. And then drive down through both feet to lift that left knee up off the mat, coming into your high lunge. Pause for a breath here. Find that strength through the legs. And then as you exhale, let the hands drop down either side of your right foot. Press down firmly through both hands and step your right foot back to meet the left, coming to find our first downward facing dog. Do not worry, the irony of doing a downward facing dog over my dog is not lost on me. Take as much movement here as you would like to. So a little pedaling out through the feet. And then we're going to come up onto our tiptoes. Try and keep your downward facing dog exactly the same. So lengthening through the spine, lifting those heels up as much as you can, and then driving the heels down towards the earth. 2 more like this. Coming up onto the balls of the feet, and then lowering back down. Last one. Lifting up and releasing. Good job. Ground down through that left foot. Use an inhale to sweep your right leg back up to the sky. And as you exhale, take your time to step that right foot up and in between the hands. Keep your back knee lifted this time as you inhale, rise up into your high lunge. Take your time again, just check in. Hug everything into the midline, so we're squeezing those inner thighs towards each other. Keep your back heel lifted and your left glute strong. Good. And then we're going to bring our hands down to heart center. Little bit of strength work here as well. Shift the weight forwards. Start leaning through the chest. Bring your weight into your right foot. And then see how slowly you can start to float that left leg up into your warrior three. Pausing here, holding. Find that center. Again, same principles apply. Switch on every muscle in that right foot. It might feel like it's doing a little dance. That's okay. Squeeze your right glute for support and squeeze your left glute for elevation of that left leg. Good. One more breath here. Right glute should be really fired up. And then slowly, slowly step your left foot up to meet the right. Good. Give the legs a bit of a shake out if you would like to. And then when you're ready, on your next inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. As you exhale, melt your way down into your forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Good. Hands can connect with the shins or the thighs, wherever you need. Exhale to forward fold. This time, keep the left foot where it is. Take a big step with your right foot to the back of the mat. You want to have quite a nice long stance here so that the hips have the opportunity to start softening. And then supporting yourself on tented fingertips, just rock the weight forwards and backwards. Awesome. And then coming back to find stillness, let your back knee drop down once again. Coming to find your low lunge as you inhale, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. Take a breath here, driving down through that left foot, strong through the right glute. And then we're going to lift and lower that left heel this time for 5, for 4, for 3. So switching on those calf muscles. Last one. Good job. Release the left heel down. Keeping this exact formation in the body. If they're not already, tuck the right toes under and lift your right knee up. Good. So coming to find our high lunge. Pausing for a breath here. And then as you exhale, let the hands drop down to frame that left foot and step your left foot back to meet the right. Coming back to find your downward facing dog. For a second, you could not be in a more annoying position, to be honest. Good job. Take a few little bends through your knees this time. So coming into this almost tuck-like shape with the knees, letting the heels lift, and then press the hips all the way back up towards the sky. So just a couple like this. Again, just warming up the legs, the soles of the feet. Awesome. This time pressing down firmly through your right foot. Sweep the left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Use an exhale to take your time, stepping that left foot up and in between the hands. Use a breath in to rise up into your high lunge. Good job. Find your balance. Remember to have train track legs or feet instead of tightrope. Good. And then bring your hands to heart center. Start to lean the chest forwards, reaching through the crown of the head. And then slowly, slowly standing into that left foot, reaching the right toes towards the back of the mat as you lift that right leg up. We want to try and make almost a T shape with our upper body and with that right leg. But do not worry if you can't quite lift that right leg up so much. It's not a problem. Taking 2 more breaths here. Good job. Stay with it even if you fall down. And then slowly, slowly stepping that right foot up to meet the left. Good job, guys. Give those legs a little bit of a shake out once again. Whenever you're ready, we are now going to come into our tree pose. So keeping the right leg where it is, draw the left foot up and place it either on the inside of your right thigh or on the inside of the calf or on the inside of the ankle. See if you can bring your hands to heart center, and then we want to open that left knee as wide as we can. So you'll have to squeeze that left glute, activating the external rotator muscles. And then keep the chest pointing forwards, shoulders are relaxed. If you want to challenge yourself a little bit more, reach the arms up to the sky. If you want to go even further, take the gaze up towards the sky. Good job. And if you're feeling really spicy today, then maybe you want to close down the eyes, just for that extra little challenge. Good. Whenever you're ready, bring your hands back to heart center. Release your left foot, but keep that left knee lifted. And then slow as you can, step that left foot all the way to the back of the mat. See if you can do it without using your hands. And then we're going to come briefly through our high lunge, but allow your left heel to drop down to the mat. So we've got heel to arch alignment with the feet. We're opening up through the hips, and we're coming to find our warrior two. Good job. In your warrior two, try and stack shoulders above your hips. Make sure that your knee is tracking out over the big toe of your right foot. So make sure that you really switch this right glute on to keep it wide. Good job. And then we're going to lift that right heel. And on your next inhale, keeping the heel lifted, start to extend through the right leg and reach the arms up and overhead, connecting the palms. Exhale to rebend through the right knee, reaching the arms out wide. Two more like this. Inhale, extending the right leg, connect the palms up and overhead. Exhale to rebend, keeping that heel lifted if you can. Last one. Exhale to release. Good job. Pausing for a breath here. And as you exhale, windmill the arms all the way down. Release the right heel back down to the mat and turn the left toes to point towards the top of the mat as well. Press down firmly through both hands. Step your right foot back to meet the left. Coming to find that downward facing dog once again. Lengthen through the spine. Don't worry about straightening through the legs. Really press down firmly through both hands. And then on your next inhale, sweep the right leg up to the sky. Once again, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step right foot up and in between the hands. Immediately let that left heel drop down to the mat, setting up for our warrior two once again. Windmilling the arms all the way up and over. Now, fun little challenge. We're going to be working into our half moon. So, a little bit like we did on the last side, start to bring your weight into your right foot. Now I want you to look down beyond the top of the mat. So take the gaze out quite nice and long. And then start to reach your fingertips towards that place that you were looking at. Bring the weight into the right foot. Switch on the muscles in the outside of the left hip and lift the left leg up. So the difference here is that our hips are stacked. Left hip is on top of right. And we're trying to stack that left shoulder on top of the right as well. Search for equal weight or equal length even down both sides of the waist. You can take the gaze out towards the side, maybe up to the left hand. Holding here for 3 more breaths. If you want to go a little bit further, take a bend through your left knee, reach round with your left hand, take hold of the outside of the foot and then really kick that foot into the hand, opening up through the chest. Good. If you've taken the bind, release it now, re-extend that leg, and then let your left hand drop down to the mat. Realign your hips, so let that left hip drop down so that it's level with the right. Pausing for a breath here, really switch on that left glute. And then we're going to stand into our right foot and see if you can slowly start to pick that left knee through, reaching the arms up to the sky. And then exhale to release the left foot down next to the right. Good job. If you're not feeling warm in your right leg, then you're a super person. Good job. I'm certainly feeling that in both of my legs, but especially the right one right now. One more side to get through. Good job, guys. Take a big, we're coming into our tree pose, sorry. Bring your weight into your left foot. This time, right foot connects with the inside of our left thigh. Perhaps you want to bring it a little bit lower to the inside of the calf or the inside of the ankle. We just want to avoid putting too much pressure on the knee joint. And then bring your hands to heart center to start with. Switch on that right glute to open the right knee out nice and wide. And then again, option to extend the arms up to the sky, perhaps shifting the weight, the gaze up towards the ceiling as well. Good job, guys. Last option is to close down the eyes if you're feeling really brave. Awesome. And then bring your hands back down to heart center. Release the right foot, but keep the right knee lifted. And then as you exhale, slowly step that right foot all the way to the back of the mat. Rising up briefly into your high lunge and then pivoting that right heel down to the mat, opening through the hips, reaching the arms out wide. Good. So setting up in your warrior two, anchor down through the outside edge of that right foot. And then lift your left heel up. Good. On your next inhale, extend through the left leg, connect the palms up and overhead. Exhale to rebend. As you extend your leg, don't worry if the heel connects to the earth. It's kind of difficult to not. Inhale to extend, reaching the palms up and overhead. Good. Exhale, coming back into that warrior two. Lift the heel. Last one. Beautiful, guys. On your next exhale, windmill the arms all the way down, turning all 10 toes to point the top of the mat and reconnecting your left heel with the earth. Press down firmly through both hands. Step your left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Pausing for a couple of moments here. Reconnect with your breath. Take any movement that you would like to. And then sweeping that left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Exhale, we step the left foot up and in between the hands. Turn that right heel down to the mat, setting up so that you've got roughly heel to arch alignment. Big inhale, we windmill the arms all the way up and overhead. Good. Now, setting up for our half moon once again. So look out long. That's going to really help you. Where your gaze goes, your energy will flow, okay? So take the gaze out long. Bring your weight into your left foot. Sacco, get off my right heel. And then reach your fingertips down to that place that you were looking at. Start to switch on the muscles in the outside of your right hip and your right obliques. Try and spiral the right rib cage up towards the sky and then extend the arm up towards the sky as well. You can point or flex your right foot, whichever feels best for you. Good job. 3 more breaths here. Option if you would like to. Take the bind, bending through that right knee, reaching around with the right hand to take hold of the right foot, and then really pressing that foot into the hand and using that to open up into the chest a little bit more. Good job. On your next exhale, if you had the bind, release it now. Good. And then float your right hand back down to the mat, re-squaring off through those hips so you won't be able to lift the leg quite so high. And then standing into that left foot, slowly bring the right knee all the way out in front of you, extending out the arms up to the sky. And exhale to release. Good job, guys. Shake out those legs, shake out the arms. Just give everything a bit of a shake out. And then come to find stillness. Let the eyes close. Just take a few deep grounding breaths here. There might have been elements of that class that you found difficult or challenging. Perhaps you wobbled over a couple of times. Perhaps you couldn't do some of the fullest expressions. None of that matters. All that is important is that you reacted in a patient and compassionate way. We often, in our practice, it can often reflect what's going on in our life. So if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed at the moment or a bit distracted or out of balance, basically, then that might reflect in your class, and that's totally okay. It's offering you an opportunity to learn more about yourself. So just use this time in stillness for a couple more moments to absorb your practice today. And then whenever you're ready, bring your hands to heart center, resting the thumbs lightly on your chest, bow your head. Thank yourself, first and foremost, for showing up for your practice today. And thank you so, so much for allowing me to guide you once again. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you found it fun and didn't take it too seriously. Looking forward to seeing you all again very, very soon. Namaste. Thank you, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Looking forward to seeing you next week.